Nigeria's widening gap in internally generated revenue has again raised tough questions about the country's fiscal health. The 2024 report by the National Bureau of Statistics shows that Lagos alone brought in 1.26 trillion naira, nearly one-third of Nigeria's total 3.6 trillion naira IGR, and well over half of its own budget. Behind Lagos are Rivers with 317.3 billion naira. The Federal Capital Territory is next with 282.3 billion naira. Ogun with 194.9 billion naira and Enugu with 180.5 billion naira. Together, they account for more than a quarter of all subnational revenues. The rest of the country lags far behind, with many states generating less than 15 billion naira a year, barely enough to stay afloat. This gulf reflects the structural weakness of Nigeria's federal system and its over-reliance on oil revenue through the Federation Account Allocation Committee. More than 32 states in the country depend on FAC for over half of their income, while 14 rely on it for more than 70%. Such heavy dependence exposes them to external shocks and makes talk of creating new states purely out of political convenience hard to justify. If existing states cannot fund themselves, splitting them further only spreads scarcity. Only Lagos and Rivers can fully operate without federal allocation. Most others struggle to pay salaries without Federation account bailout. About 80% of IGR nationwide comes from taxes, mainly pay-as-you-earn deductions, which depend on formal jobs that are scarce across much of the country. In many states, corruption, wasteful projects, and poor revenue management continue to drain public funds. Gombe, for example, spent 43.1 billion naira on office renovations in 2023, but only 12 billion naira on health. 10 states, including Osun, Ekiti, and Ebonyi, spent less than 9% of their budgets on healthcare in 2024, even as poverty and service delivery worsened. This issue is not that Nigeria has too few states, but that most existing ones are poorly managed and fiscally weak. Creating new ones will not solve that. It will multiply the problems. New states would be even more dependent on federal allocations and add more layers of bureaucracy, governors, assemblies, ministries, without creating real value. State creation has become a tool for political reward, not economic development, and it risks deepening inefficiency as well as corruption. What Nigeria needs, according to most experts, is not more lines on the map, but more productivity. States must focus on building their own economies through technology-driven tax systems, investment in agriculture and minerals, and transparent management of limited resources. Fiscal federalism must go beyond theory. In the United States, for example, states do not necessarily queue for federal allocations. California's $4.1 trillion GDP is larger than most of the African economies. Nigerian states can achieve similar progress if they prioritize production over politics and consumption. Nigeria does not need new states, according to most. It needs current ones to work, generate revenue, create jobs, and deliver quality services. Until that happens, any talk of creating more states is nothing more than multiplying failure.